Okay, hello everybody. Today I'll be playing the fairy song, which is supposedly another kind of modern fairy tale, I guess. And I'm up for that. Out of the Woods was really great, and so the forest and the fairies and stuff like that. Maybe it has the same vibes, but not sure. There will be a female knight, and who doesn't like those? I do. And hello there in the chat. So let's play the fairy song. Let me see. The title screen is really pretty, at least. Oh, and last week, though, I was being a vampire and the waking hours just weren't anywhere near streamable, but now it should be better. So I'm alive and kicking anyway. Marnie. I can hear my mom calling my name, albeit faintly. Oh, let me move a little bit. I'm still blocking the thingy. About the rumbling of the car's tires and the pounding bass line of Amarts, battered banners and bloody flags. No idea if that is a real song. I'm an uncultured person, so I don't know. But I don't really feel like replying. It's easier to pretend I can't hear her. I'm so not in the mood for a lecture right now. Well, Andrew, don't you have anything to tell her? Like what? Oh, I don't know. Maybe that she should at least dignify me with some sort of response. Okay, I see. So it is a real song. I know, she's going through a rebellious phase, but I'm still her mother. She should be a bit more respectful, honestly. I think the main character is like a goth or something, so I guess that counts as a rebellious in a way. I'm not sure if that is all goth can be, but it can be rebellious in a way. Alright, I'll try talking to her. Hey Gizmo, are you okay back there? And now that's getting in on the act too. Great. Dad isn't as neurotic as Mom. She's always on my case, either about my makeup or my homework or the state of my room. But his concerned queries and awful dad jokes are almost as bad as Mom's constant complaints. Oh yeah, that's true, Maddie was at least a goth, so there is that similarity too. I dig my butts deeper into my ears and sink down in my seat. Well, they sound like typical parents, more or less. I think I'd rather be in Midgard, even if it was burning to the ground, than in this car. Well, I know Midgard, kinda. I guess it's like Norse mythology or something like that. You see it in games a lot. It would probably be cooler there too. The summer heat is utterly unbearable. I'm afraid I'm going to get a tan. Not that ever happens. Well, over here it's actually cold, but I have hot chocolate. I don't bronze like Greek goddesses do. I turn pink instead. Yeah, I don't even know. I have never gotten a tan. It's not a great look. Why is it so hot anyway? I live in England. It's supposed to rain here every day, summer or winter. Thanks, global warming. I love you too. Oh, for God's sake, take those earbuds out, Manny. I can hear that awful music from here. You'll defend yourself if you're not careful. Yeah, that's, well, better not listen to that loud music. Hey. I pull out an earbud and aim a glare at the back of Mom's head. Mom and Amarat aren't awful, they are very talented. All they do is shout. I don't understand why you're so obsessed with them. Yeah, I don't really like it, this shouting kind of music. You think I'm obsessed? That's rich coming from you. At least I don't blast my music around the house at full volume 24/7, unlike you and Valentina Roth. That's different. I can't see my mother's face, but I bet she's blushing. My mom has quite a cool, steely exterior, but she always gets flustered whenever Valentina Roth comes up in conversation. So mom is like ice queen or something. Helena's the same about Proteus. Come to think of it, I think Proteus is a creep myself. He's like, what, 24, 25. By the way, he's way too old to go out with Helena. She's only 16. Okay, yeah, that's yikes. No idea what the people are. Like Proteus sounds like a Greek god or something, or like a Greek mythology person. Well, Helena would pass you, but probably something else. I tried to broach this subject with her before, but when I do, she always gets pissy, though we are supposed to be friends. Okay, so they are probably like somebody they know in game. I mean, geez, sorry for being concerned about your welfare. I didn't realize that was so uncool. Valentin is a talented musician and he's a gentleman too. Simply had to report his newest single. I wanted it to break into the top 10. He deserves it for working so hard. Oh yeah, no wonder it sounded familiar. Might have stuck in my head because of the Yuri jam like research thingies. That's your excuse for listening to Golden Year about 10 million times a day. It wasn't 10 million times. It sure felt like it. You had that song on so often I had nightmares about it. Okay, that is ganging up too. Not you too, Andrew. I would appreciate it if you didn't take sides. I'm not taking sides, I'm just being honest. Well, that is typical dad things, I guess. No, you don't know anything about Valentin. And how much do you know about him, Mom? It's not like you have ever met him. For all you know, he could be a psychopath. Don't be ridiculous. Of course he isn't a psychopath. But you never know, I guess. I've been a fan of his since I was a young girl, Mani. I think I have a better grasp of his character than you do. Well, sorry to, break the news, but like a lot of like celebrities who people thought were nice were actually. Sure, whatever. Don't you whatever me. This is important. Important you maybe. I yawn and stare out the window, arms folded. My mom always gets like this when she talks about her childhood crush, the precious Saint Valentine. In her eyes, he can do no wrong. Okay, so like the childhood crush was like a celebrity. I see. Though my mom's 46, she often scours Twitter searching for people who dislike him. Okay, yeah, that's typical Twitter users. Also RIP Twitter. She gets into fury 280 character debates about his personality and his music on the regular. Her lifelong dedication to Rob Valentine Roth is pretty incredible. But it's also kind of disturbing. I guess you could call it pathological. You think my mom, being a therapist and all, would be a staunch believer in keeping away from things on the internet that upset you, but apparently not. I hope you haven't been arguing with people on Twitter again. It isn't good for you. It just makes you angry. Yeah, there you go. Dad knows. Mom's always angry. Probably because she's arguing on Twitter. I muttered this under my breath, hoping the car engine will drown it out, but of course, I heard that money. Oh. Oh, we went backwards. Let me actually like clean up these things a little bit. Okay, let's see. Let's go back. My mom's ears are razor sharp. Was her sense of hearing honed after listening to Valentine Roth records on a loop for the last 40 years? The world may never know. Anyway, we are not supposed to be talking about Valentine right now. Really, that's a first. Put a sock in it, Andrew. I love you too, Louis. I love you, though I sometimes wonder why. But that's kinda what I have been wondering too. Mom sighs, shakes her head. Anyway, we are almost at Chapel. Hello. Yippee. Now I know you're not very happy about spending this week with your grandmother. Goodness me, whatever gave you that impression, my dearest mother? I sit up a little straighter and blink at my mom, all white eyes and long eyelashes. Though I wear black pretty much all the time, I'm good at pulling off the innocent look. My eyes are very blue and my hair is pale blonde. When I was younger, people said I looked just like a doll. I'm tiny too, which is probably why my dad calls me Gizmo. Okay, so that's why. Not even my platform boots are enough to disguise how teensy I am. Some of the teachers at John with gifts still think I'm in year 7. It's hard being a goth when you look like Disney's Rapunzel and miniature. Probably miniature. Don't be smart with me, Marnie. But I'm not smart, Mom. Mrs. Partridge made that quite clear in my last report. I'd almost forgotten about that rotten report. I can't believe the things she said. She gave you such a dressing down. My ineptitude at maths is somewhat legendary, yes. Don't sound so proud about it. You'll be going to 6th form this September. If you get the grades, I hope you'll apply yourself a little more than. Sure, Mom, whatever. I wish you wouldn't say that. But they are sure arguing a long time. And this kinda reminds me when we were watching Shrek movies, and one of the movies started with basically this. Let's get back on topic here. I know you don't want to see Iris money, but I hope you'll be nice to her. You only have one grandmother, and you need to cherish her. Well, I have 0. RIP. And you only have one daughter, but I don't feel very cherished right now. What do you mean by that exactly? You could have taken me on holiday with you. It's not fair that you and Dad get to swan off to Bordeaux while I'm stuck in Benchapel. That's no way to reward me after sitting my GCSEs. Do British people go to France to have a holiday? On Bordeaux is probably France like that, but I don't know French so well. I don't know if you deserve a reward. I never once saw you studying for your exams. I worked hard on my art portfolio. You worked too hard, if you ask me. You were down in the garden shed until 3 in the morning, splashing acrylic paint around. Okay, so the main character likes painting, I guess. If only you would put as much effort into English or maths. Don't talk to me about the M-word or I'll choke. Sometimes I wish I could choke you, you cheeky madam. Okay. Mom, please. Is that something a therapist should say? I'll say whatever I damn well wanted to my own daughter. You need a bit of discipline, so that's too soft on you. Mom has issues. Is that why you wouldn't take me on holiday with you? Are you trying to punish me? No, of course that isn't it. We have been through this already. Mom sighs and wipes her brow. It's hopelessly hot in the car, even with the windows wound down, and I can see my mom's blouse clinging to her back. I booked this holiday so I could support Valentin. He'll be performing for the first time since his hip operation, and I want to be there for him. Well, of course that's why they are going. So I guess British don't necessarily go to France for holiday. It's just them. He even knows you're alive. He will know I'm alive when I ask him to sign my copy of Golden Year. But that's why you don't want me around. Are you afraid I'll cramp your style when you finally meet your childhood crush? Of course not. I imagine it must be hard to elope with the man of your dreams when you've got a moody teenager daughter hanging around. But what's poor dad going to do while you're mooning after Valentine? Aren't you afraid he'll get jealous? Jealous? Me? Not likely. I know I'm not Louis' #1 pick when it comes to men, but she married me and she's stuck with me now. Okay, well, that's one way to look at it, I guess. I doubt she'd let Valentine sweep her off her feet, even if he does happen to propose. My Louis is as faithful as they come. Well, let's hope for Dad's sake that is the case. Valentine wouldn't be able to sweep her off her feet, not without breaking his back. Isn't he like 200? He's only 73. Okay. There is, yeah, like 30 plus years difference. Only, she says, cheese. And I thought Proteus was too old for Helena. He's got almost 30 years on you, Mom. He's old enough to be your own father. Yeah, pretty much at that rate. And I so don't get the appeal. He used to be very handsome when he was younger, I'll have you know. More than that. Obviously, your father's never once been a teen heartthrob, has he? Always you want me. I'm just telling the truth. It is like a pretty long back and forth, but at least like it is entertaining. Mom's tone might be snippy, but I know that's not the full sum of her feelings for my father. She's actually pretty sappy deep down. Yeah, so Mom is just like Ice Queen or Tsundere, I guess. She and Dad are still all over each other 20 years into their marriage, her love for Valentine notwithstanding. I have walked in on them kissing on the living room couch more than once. But surely that's nothing like unusual. I guess their relationship is kind of cute in a way. At least it would be if it wasn't their daughter. If I wasn't their daughter. Yeah, well, that's I guess how it goes. Who wants to see their parents necking? Well, like, I don't think like it's like particularly like disgusting or anything. It's just like, well, that's how couples go, right? Like nothing to be too embarrassed about. Thinking about it is making me feel kind of queasy. And I hardly doubt Valentine will propose to me. I'll barely get the chance to speak to him. It will be packed. His concert sold out in minutes. But if he does. Oh, don't get started on this. It's not happening. And you're not coming on holiday with us. You had your chance. I did ask if you wanted to come, remember? And you said you'd rather stick pins in your ears than listen to Valentine live. Yeah, well, that was before I knew it That was before I knew I'd be staying in Penchapel for a week. I'd planned to sleep over at Helen's house while my mom and dad went abroad, but Helen and I had that falling out over Proteus on the last week of the school term, like he was even worth it. I can't believe she called off our plans at the last minute. What an awful friend. Okay. Well, Proteus is, I guess, he's just a guy with a really weird name. I was literally just trying to help. Yeah. Well, I guess like you need to be careful about like how far you go with that. Like you can't say maybe once and then like, well, just leave it at that, I guess. Helena got all snotty and she said she was old enough to look after herself. And anyway, the age of consent in England is 16 and she's basically an adult. So that means she can do whatever she wants, so I should get lost. Well, yeah. Probably not like it's like something you can like argue too much over without like, oh, it's getting bad. I really don't get what she sees in Proteus. He's a total creep. He might have a car, and maybe he can play the guitar, but does that really make up for his weird name? Okay, so it's about the name. It certainly doesn't make up for the fact that he is in his mid-20s. No money, don't give me that. The situation isn't exactly ideal, but you'll have to grin and bear it. Hello? I think I'll be good for my mom to have a bit of company. She's not been in the best of ways since Dad passed. You can't cheer her up. But I think like that is kinda like Abby Himes writing style. Like I tried to play one of the like older games once, but it was also like a little long-winded and I wasn't like a big fan of visual novels then. Me, cheer Gran up. I think you must have gotten the wrong kid. I'm no Shirley Temple. No, you're more of Wednesday Addams kind of girl. Yeah, I guess that kinda adds up. Mom likes you though. It's been ages since you last saw her. I think a bit of company is just what the doctor ordered. I think Gran needs to see a doctor. Hasn't she been nattering on about fairies since Grandpa died? Oh yeah, maybe it's long-winded, but I don't mind. At least like the dialogue is fun. I haven't finished like any the one I played was like strawberry vinegar or something. It was cute, but it was also like progressing really slowly. Maybe I'll give it a try one day. Now since I have like more patience for visual novels. But yeah, this seems fun so far, and there will be nights and stuff later. Dad's fingers tighten around the steering wheel he sighs. My dad's such a silly, irrelevant kind of man. Irreverent kind of man. It's rare to see him down in the dumps like this. Mom's obsession with Valentine Rat makes him laugh, but he is uncharacteristically serious when it comes to Gran's declining mental state. Though, I don't know, it seems kinda like normal to me to be worried about that. I guess I don't blame him. I was shocked when I saw Gran at Grandpa's funeral last year. She'd practically withered overnight. Yeah, I guess that kinda happens. I didn't know people could just shrink like that. It was sad and also kinda scary. Yeah, well, like, I guess, like, it is kinda like in the same vein as, like, so-so movies. Like, well, the reason I started playing MOBs was because it's kinda hard to find, like queer games of other types. It's still not, like, my preferred genre, but some of the games are really great. And I tend to have fun. It just like takes patience. I don't think my mom needs to see a doctor or Gizmo. She's a tough old bird. Her eyes aren't what they used to be. And she has shrunk a little, but she can still get around her house alright. Your brother's desperate to put her in a home. He keeps phoning us about it every other week. Yeah, well, we all know what Jim's after, and I doubt he has our mother's best interests at heart. Dad watches me in the rear view mirror, a sad kind of smile on his face. You don't need to worry, money. Your Gran's fine. I doubt she'll keel over in your company. She's just lonely, is all. Who knows, if you spend some time with her, it might help. Okay, so they kinda like have like a little bit of an ulterior motive too, in a way. Like using her to cheer up the grandma. It's not like super ulterior motive, but like it's kinda still using the main character while they go on a vacation. Maybe, but I'm not sure. Dad's convinced that Grandma Iris is hunky-dory. He's been pushing this narrative ever since Grandpa Frank's funeral, but I don't think I believe him. Dad's convinced Uncle Jim wants to oust Gran from her home so he can divide her assets. And he might have a point, but I am a little worried about my Gran. She looked so frail at the funeral. And then there's all her talk about fairies. It just doesn't seem right. I don't think it's normal, but I guess that doesn't matter. I'm going to stay with my Gran this week, and in my mother's words, if I don't like it, I'll just have to lump it. Well, I guess like there is kinda like similarity. She doesn't wear glasses though. But I guess like my outfit is kinda goth at the moment, so well. there is that. If only Helena hadn't blown me off, then this wouldn't be happening. It probably isn't a charitable thing to think about my best friend, but she's acting like a stupid cow. There is like a lot of similarity to like how Heart of the Woods started in a way, like them being traveling in the beginning and then going to a distant like place basically, and there being rumors about like supernatural things. I pop my earbud back into my right ear and immerse myself anew in the cold, steely, blood-stained world of Amon Amarth. Looks like we'll be at Grant's home in a few minutes, but until then, I can always imagine. Right now, I want to imagine that I'm anywhere other than Fenchapel. Well, so far you are. Dad pulls up in Grant's too large driveway. It seems strangely empty without Grandpa's old Honda. Dad helped Gran sell it off after Grandpa died. She said it reminded her too much of him, and she couldn't bear to look at it any longer. Well, I guess Grandma is kinda hurting then. Grant's beat up Hyundai is still there, but I doubt she uses it anymore. Her vision isn't what it used to be, and she can barely grip the wheel with her trembling, leathery fingers. All day she's pretty depressing. She seemed so healthy before Grandpa died too. After the funeral, she went to pieces. I guess she really did love him. Yeah, it might be like pretty rough when like you are so long together and then suddenly you're alone. Kinda sad, but well. Oh. Gran insists on making Mom and Dad a cup of tea when they drop me off, and Mom reluctantly agrees, though I know she's anxious. She keeps tapping her fingers against the kitchen table and looking at the clock. I know she's calculating the distance between Fenchapel and Manchester Airport in her head like a GPS, trying to figure out how much longer it will take her to get there. Heaven forbid anything stops her from seeing her beloved Valentine. For a therapist, my mom sure does worry a lot, mostly about timekeeping, the housework, and my grades. Yeah, mom needs like some like stress coping thingies. Recently, Valentine Rat's been pretty high on that list too. I swear my mom's obsession. My mom's is obsessed. My family chatter idly across their cups of tea. Gran mostly talks about how hard it's been to manage the house since Grandpa's death. But Moira's been such a big help, bless her heart. that she can't imagine how she got along without her. It's all very sad, but I feel vaguely relieved that as she rattles through her list of minor grievances. At least she isn't talking about fairies again. Moira's that girl from the council, isn't she? Yeah, Grandma sure has her face. Oh yes, she comes over every week to help me with the shopping, and she does a bit of cleaning too. She really is a sweetheart. Oh, that's good. I'm glad Moira's been treating you right, Gran. How's Dad's vegetable garden coming along? It must be about time to dig up those lettuces and potatoes. Yeah, I kinda remember the same kind of things too. Usually we didn't have to like exactly sit there though, like we could just like go wherever, like it's kind of like the others wouldn't mind. I do remember like things like one of my uncles being like, okay, let's drink coffee, and like I didn't like coffee back then, I still don't like it, and then like we had to drink it though. Well, it's not like I died or anything, it was just like bad. But like, yeah, adults have like so different view of world than children. Ah, yeah. Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense, but yeah. Like if you don't like know the relatives, then it's kind of awkward. Like some of the relatives, like they were actually fun, and like we anticipated them, and the others were not so much. Well, I was good at like minding my own business because I'm an introvert. So that helped, I guess. Oh, that's right. I had so much to do since Frank passed. I forgot about his garden. Old age really is unbearable. Gran holds a trembling hand to her temple, perhaps hoping this will restore some of her hazy, fading memories. I haven't really like seen like any of my relatives in a long while. Like last summer or something, I see like one of the uncles, but that's about it. Like I live so far away from them now. They are like all countryside people, and it's like really remote. But like, well, maybe because of that, like because I live in the countryside, I can kind of relate to this kind of stories. Like when you go back to your countryside, so like these kind of games kind of resonate because of that. Nothing made Frank happier than watering his lettuces. That garden brought him so much joy, I completely slipped my mind. Watering lettuces, well, sounds kind of boring, but well, could be relaxing too. Well, lettuces are like good at least, healthy and stuff. Or like talking about healthy, like recently, like over here, like some government institution or something, basically released like new guides, like you need to eat this kind of food to be healthy. And well, like the guide basically said that don't eat like ultra processed like meat products at all. And like, well, predictably, I guess. Like, well, all the guys went nuts like, well, I'd rather destroy the climate than not eat like ultra processed meat. So, well, it's kinda like, well, I don't follow the recommendations either because I'm vegan. So I kinda get that part, but it's also kinda awkward to watch that. Hey-ho, don't worry about it, Mom. No harm done. Since I'm here, I can always help out with the gardening. That is, if you don't mind. Or would you? I'd appreciate it, Andrew, but... Gran glances at Mom. Mom staring at her clock again, her lips pursed. She doesn't look happy, then again, she rarely does. Yeah, like there is a like part of that too, like still, like for example, like milk has been like really long time, like something that people are like supposed to drink. So it is still in their recommendations. Like recently they added like an kind of addendum that you can also drink like soy milk or oat milk or something. Also, like all the guys went nuts about that, like how dare you say that we can't drink milk, but you can. It still says that you can, but well, I don't know, maybe they are just really insecure about these kind of things. Oh yeah, dairy, that, yeah, I guess it is kind of the same there too. Oh, I guess it's... Yeah, maybe it's just everywhere the same then. It doesn't set off until 7, Mom. We have got bags of time. Isn't that right, Louis? Well, I suppose a small break wouldn't hurt, but... I guess like it depends on like what kind of bread it is, like how healthy it is. But yeah, I think they have probably decreased it. Like now you're supposed to eat like half a kilo of vegetables or something. Would be nice, but they are so heavy to carry from the store. Yeah, it's kind of also like hard to balance it, especially like, well, I'm kind of lazy at cooking, so it's tricky. Also, like sadly, like a lot of vegetables are super expensive. Like tomatoes are like doubled in price or something. Kinda sucks. Cabbage is still cheap, but nope. Would be nice to eat something else sometimes too. My mother gives my dad a touched look. I don't want to be late. These tickets were expensive, and Valentin can wait, I'm sure. Well, the plane might not wait. That garden was important to Dad. I'm the one who helped him set it up. I can't let all this hard work go to waste. Well, money could like take care of the garden, like. Money kinda sounds like somebody who would live in a farming village anyway. Well, when you put it like that, I suppose you'd better go on then. Mom crosses and then recrosses her legs, saying as she does so, she might be uptight about timekeeping, and anybody can see how anxious she is to get out of Grant's too large kitchen and back on the road, but she isn't heartless. She is a therapist after all. Listening to other people's problems is part of her job. Apart from the main characters, I guess. Gran hasn't been coping well since Granddad's death. If it went for Moira's weekly visits, she'd probably be in an old person's home as per Uncle Jim's wishes. This should go without saying, but my grandma really is old. It's strange to think about it, and it's even stranger to see all that age hanging on her face, her grey skin drooping as though it's too heavy for her. Yeah, it probably takes time. I kind of get it, like I do also get like nervous if there is like an appointment or something and I want to be there like extra early just in case something happens. So I kind of get it. My earliest memories of my grandma are of a stern, square-shouldered woman with sharp eyes, her grey hair pulled back into a tight bun. But that woman is worlds apart from the Gran I'm seeing right now. She's deteriorated so much it's almost scary. Go and have your fun in Frank's garden, Andrew. I won't stop you, but don't take too long. I don't want to miss our flight. Right you are, Governor. My dad grins rakishly, like a cheeky Victorian chimney sweep, and doofs an invisible cap in my mother's direction. I don't think real Victorian chimney sweeps were cheeky though. They were probably too busy dying from burns and suffocation to clown about like my dad. What about you, Gizmo? Do you wanna come with? Oh Dad, do I have to? It will be listening to your mom cataloging Valentina Rat's many accomplishments for hours on end, won't it? Oh, probably, I guess. Don't be like that. I think of things other than Valentine, you know. But not really. Sure you do, Louis. I do. Mom huffs in the background, but Dad pays her little heed. He grins at me, then says, "So what about it, Gizmo? I could sure do with an extra pair of hands. I think the potatoes should be ready to come up, and the lettuces, and maybe the carrots. Oh yeah, like on the countryside, like they also like farmed potatoes, and it was suffering. I'm like so glad you can't just buy them from the store. It was a pain. There's also a whole bunch of tomatoes in the greenhouse. Strawberries too. The strawberries are fun at least. Taste good. Also raspberries are also nice, and blueberries. Dad wiggles his eyebrows suggestively. I know how much you love strawberries. Alright, fine, whatever. I push my glass of pink lemonade to one side and get to my feet, stretching. I have been sitting in Grant's kitchen for less than a half an hour, but my limbs already feel like they are atrophied. Well, let's hope you are not getting like old all of a sudden too. I'll be glad to get out of this stifling atmosphere, if only for a few moments. I'm pretty sure she'll be doing this a lot later. Yeah, daddy is like pretty typical dad, it feels. But my dad wasn't really like a goof too much. Like maybe a little, but not too much. More like the sofa kind of dad. Being around Gran now is kind of sad. Her white hair is horribly thin, and the bun she's got it pulled back in hardly hopes matters. I can see an alarming amount of bright pink scalp when I stand up. Her body, meanwhile, is just as shrunken. Her cardigan so large it looks like it's swallowing her. Or like this emphasis on the grandma being in bad shape kind of worries me, knowing that like Abby must sometimes writes like a little more yikes stories too, but this shouldn't be one of them. But well, I hope grandma will be alright during this story. I can't bear to be in the kitchen with her another second longer. I'm not a very sentimental person, but seeing my grandma reduced to this sorry state hurts way too much. Thanks for all the help, Gizmo. I couldn't have done it without you. Come off it, Dad. I didn't do anything. I just stood there while you did all the hard work. No, don't sell yourself short. I don't need you. I'm short enough as it is. Ha ha. While I did most of the heavy lifting, you did something even more important. Oh yeah, and what's that? You gave me moral support. Oh, I guess. My dad reaches out, smiling brightly. I think he means to ruffle my hair with one hand, but he's still wearing Grandpa's old work clothes, and they are smeared all over with soot. Hey, Dad. I sidestep his incoming hand, holding my hands up to protect my hair. Careful, you'll cover me with mud. Oops, sorry about that, Gizmo. The money, I guess, is just like short. Like physically, I guess. Dad grins sheepishly and peels the gloves from his hands. Then he ruffles my head with one of his large better poems. I have heard like money in Stardew Valley. That's about it. No idea like if it is like search for something. I think it is just like a name. Or could be a search for something, but I don't know how. I don't know. Yeah, me neither. Oh, that could be it. It might make sense. Could be something like that, or some like really old name that got shortened. I think about throwing him off, but well, I guess he is not doing any harm. I never would have thought you'd care about me getting your hair dirty though. Aren't you always nagging your mom about dyeing it black? That's kinda different. I don't nag. I was just asking. And besides, hair dye and dirt are two totally different things. Yep. You mean one washes out easy and one doesn't? Ah, you're so lame, Dad. Thanks, Gizmo. I love you too. My dad throws his hands away, still grinning, and I sighed. I don't know, that sounds like a good person. Wouldn't mind this kind of dad at all. Mom, on the other hand, though I'm not so sure about her. But that seems great. My dad's affection can be a little overbearing, but he means well by it. As far as dads go, he's pretty chill, which is definitely a good thing. If he scolded me as much as Mom does, I'd go mad. Mom might exist in a semi-constant state of stress, but Dad's laissez-faire attitude helps even things out. Speaking of which, so Dad, would you let me dye my hair? Now, Money, we have been through this. You know what your mother would say. But this has nothing to do with Mom. This is my hair, and I should be allowed to do what I want with it. You wouldn't care if I dyed it, would you? Not personally, no. I think blonde hair suits you, but black might be more fitting. It would certainly match your foul moods. Oh, please. I roll my eyes and Dad laughs. Sorry, Gizmo. I'm just saying it like I see it. You should know better than this though. Then what? Even if I said yes, Mom's word is the law. If I gave you permission to dye your hair behind her back, my life wouldn't be worth living. She'd eviscerate me. I guess you have a point. I wind a strand of fair hair around my index finger. My eyes trained on the plastic box of potatoes by my feet. The potatoes in Grandpa's vegetable garden are so small. I don't know if it was really worth extricating them from the dirt, but at least it gave me an excuse to get out of the kitchen. I wish Mom wouldn't get on my case about everything though. I mean, my hair does belong to me. And I'll be in 6th form soon. It's not like I'm a little kid. No matter how old you get, you'll still be our kid, Chuck. Is that why you always call me those stupid names? No, I call you these names because I love you and I'll never stop loving you, whether you're 16 or 66. At least when I'm 66, I'll be able to do whatever I want with my hair. Not a good thing about being a girl, I guess. All guys aren't so lucky, I guess. You think you'll still be a goth when you're in your 60s? I don't know, I can try it. I would tell you that the older you get, the more you start conforming to the status quo. No, I wouldn't really say so. I wouldn't mind like everybody be like super gay and everything in like though quite a few years, I guess. But I guess let us a good example of the reverse. My dad's older sister, Leda, is an interesting person. Apparently, she used to be very fashion conscious when she was a teenager. She spent a lot of money on clothes, and she was always poring through magazines looking for the latest fashions. She'd run around the house in a flimsy, see-through negligee. Apparently, it left quite the impression on my father during his formative years. He's told me on numerous occasions that his mother would scold her and say, "We live in England, not France. And if you want to show off your legs, you should become a can-can dancer." Not sure what kind of dance that is. Or maybe it's that kind of dance, like where they like throw one of the legs like high up and like kind of jump. Maybe it's that kind of dance. Like would make sense. Aunt Leda's fashion stylings now, however, couldn't be further from her cosmopolitan youth. She's in her 50s and she favors voluminous robes and long, gauzy scarves. Paired with so many beaded necklaces and bracelets, she clinks when she walks like a living wind chime. No idea, like kinda makes me think like she's like a rapper or something, but I don't really like know how they will like dress either. Her fashion sense isn't the most unusual thing about my aunt though. There's her obsession with astrology and divinations and sciences. I might be Leda's niece, but I don't know the half of her wild beliefs. My family doesn't visit her all that often. She's something of an enigma to me. I wonder if she appears in the story then. Probably not. Well, as long as you don't end up like my sister, I'm sure you'll be fine. Well, yeah, this is probably just to blame the sister. Don't worry about it. I don't believe in fortune telling, and I'm not interested in seeing into distant realms. Haha, I knew you had a good head on your shoulders, Gizmo. No matter what your awful maths teacher said. Sadly for me, Mom seemed to side with Mrs. Partridge. Your mom's only hard on you because she loves you. Don't take your lectures too hard. Yeah, well that's, I don't know, like Thunder Ice Queen kind of love, I guess. You're not hard on me at all. Does that mean you don't love me? We just show our love in different ways is all. Now, since you have been such a wonderful assistant, my dad plucks a ripe, juicy strawberry from the basket on the ground and proffers it to me like a magician. Ta-da! That would be more impressive if I hadn't helped you pick all those 5 minutes ago. But I accept the strawberry all the same, despite my cross. Unlike the lettuces and the potatoes, which were disappointingly small, my grandfather's strawberries are large and healthy. The skin's bright red, peppered with yellow seeds. I pop the strawberry into my mouth and chew. The fruit bursts between my teeth, flooding my tongue with tart juice. Dad watches on while I eat, smiling gamely. Is that good? Not bad. Why, what a glowing river. I just can't resist. I had to help myself to one too. Don't tell Mom, alright. I won't, cross my heart. Dad's supposed to be on a diet. Mom thoughts if he eats anything that she hasn't factored into his diet plan. But now she isn't here, Dad can do as he pleases. Well, it's not like strawberries, like anything super bad anyway. No. Grinning like a naughty boy, my dad snuffles another strawberry and bites into it. Now that hits the spot. These strawberries are to die for. He swallows the strawberry, then helps himself to another and another. I watch him passively, my lips pursed. You should be careful or there won't be any left for Gran. Ah, right you are. I'll have to stop myself there. Now we need to bring our spoils back to my mother. Dad looks at the assorted boxes lined up on the ground. There's one box filled with potatoes, another with lettuces and carrots, and a third with strawberries and blackberries. Do you want to carry the berries, Gizmo? I'm a man, so I can't handle these hefty spuds. The potatoes are hardly hefty, Dad. Now I doubt you'd find cheddars like these in Tesco too. But they were grown with love, and that was to count for something. Dad stacks the box of potatoes atop the box filled with lettuces and carrots, then picks them both up. his forearms slick with sweat. A cool wind ruffles my hair, but it does little to dispel the muggy, unpleasant heat. A fly buzzes, settling upon one of the ripe strawberries. I batted away, my eyes narrowed. It's a nice day, isn't it, Gizmo? That depends on the definition of nice. Haha, you're such a little vampire. Knowing you, I bet you'd prefer it if it was dark and gloomy, wouldn't you? No, nothing wrong with dark and gloomy, I kinda like it. Kinda like it, but can't really stream in dark though. But like it is dark and gloomy outside. That's how winter is here. It's fine. Like some people get like really depressed in winter, but I don't. At least like not because of winter. I'd prefer it if it were anywhere other than Finchapel. It's not fair that you and Mom get to relax on the sandy beach for a week while I'm stuck here. Oh, I don't know if there'll be much relaxing. Your mom will be trying to hunt down Valentina all holiday, I expect. Ooh. Yeah, well. It kinda sucks for that, but oh well. But try to cheer up. I know you don't like Finchapel very much. But I was born here and I turned out alright. It's a bit dull, but you can always go on walks in the forest. And your grand's not a bad old sort. Can't you look on the bright side? It has been a little while since the last time. I'm not like super used to talking this much. Yeah, they are alright. Hot chocolate is nice. Not too hot anymore, sadly, but that's how it is. Yeah, but it's kinda like usually I don't talk that much. And since I didn't stream last week, now my throat is like extra bad somehow, I guess. Oh well, I'll still try to play a little more at least. I can try, I guess. But I can't promise that I'll succeed. Who wants to spend the summer holiday in Finchapel anyway? There's nothing to do here at all. You'd better make this up to me, Dad. Next summer, can't you take me on holiday somewhere cool? Like the North Pole. Like given the current climate, it might not be the best during summer. I didn't mean that literally. I wouldn't mind going to Germany though, or maybe Austria. Sweden might not be bad either. But pretty sure like Germany is still pretty hot, like Sweden can be hot too. Even like the far north in the summer. Although depends on your definition of like cool or hot, I guess. That is where Amon Amarth comes from. And like a good 60% of the other bands I listen to on a regular basis. Why does all the best music come out of Scandinavia anyway? Alright, I'll see what I can do. Next year, let's all have fun together as a family. Without Valentinrad getting in the way, what do you say? Sure, as long as mom doesn't ruin it somehow. I smile, I can't help it. I'm not enthused about spending the week in Finchapel, far from it in fact. But it's hard to be grumpy when I'm with my dad. I wish I could come with him. I'd even take Valentinrad over Finchapel. This place is too depressing for words. Half an hour later, after much scraping and anxious clock checking on mom's part, my parents eventually depart. I could actually save the game. Just in case. Okay. Dad gives Grandma a hug and he promises her to come back soon. Then he gets into the car, Mom following alongside him. I stand on the doorstep and watch them leave, my grandma beside me. Dad leans his head out of the window just like a terrier and calls out at us as he maneuvers the car down the driveway. Bye Mom, bye Mani. I hope you have a good time. Behave yourself while we are gone, dear. If I come back and find out you have given your gran a hard time, I'll give you an earful. I bet you'll scold me no matter what happens. I watch as my parents' car pivots about onto the gravel driveway. Then trundles out of my grandma's gloomy old home. I watch and watch, my eyes straining against the harsh sunlight as my parents disappear on the horizon. Now it's just me and my grandma. I glance at her, she looks back at me. I'm stuck with the sudden, disorienting sense of how very small she is. When I was younger, Gran used to be taller than me. She isn't anymore, and that's not just because I have grown. She's gotten smaller, and both give me a bit of extra height, but I bet I'd be bigger than she is even without them. Now that's unusual. I'm not used to being taller than anybody. Oh, Mani. Gran smiles at me as though she's only just seen me. You really have grown tall. I guess, yeah. I try to smile, but it feels forced. I know my smile isn't reaching my eyes. It's not that I have gotten taller, Ron's gotten shorter. Maybe that's what happens when you live in an out-of-the-way village like Penchapel that boasts an impressive population of 500. Your worldview shrinks, and so do you. Well, hopefully not. Grant's life has been tied so tightly with Grandpa's dad. The moment he died, a crucial part of her died too. Now she's starting to fade away. Yeah, that's kinda sad. Her old house is like a museum, filled with antiques. And I guess that would make her museum exhibit. Maybe she's like the stuffed animals I once saw at London's Natural History Museum. I tear my way from the driveway. My parents sure as hell aren't coming back. I cast my eyes over my grandma's house. Grand's house, like Gran herself, is something of a relic. It was built in the 1800s or so, and it shows. The mortar around the bricks is cracking, and ivy festoons the exterior of this old house like a veil. It's a warm day, but I shiver all the same. I don't really want to spend the night here, curled up in one of my grandma's many unused bedrooms. But what choice do I have? My parents are gone too. Nobody else knows I'm in Penchapel. Until my parents come to pick me up next Saturday, I'm effectively trapped. Treading water like a sim in a swimming pool with the ladder removed. Yeah, I kinda get that. Hopefully it's not that bad though. Well, this sucks. The next day. Was there like some kind of way to see? CD. Let me see. I'll get this keyboard here. I don't remember how you did it. Like you could somehow. Oh, not that at least. Okay, maybe you can't. I think you could like somehow see like how far you have played. Would be handy because then it's easier to like make decisions how long to play like each session. Yeah, I'll try to not break it. Oh well, I guess I'll play like 2 hours every time or something like that. That's the usual treatment. Maybe I'll try to figure out like where I am next time. Ah, okay, that explains it. Yeah, I tried like F2, which I think should be it. But well, it's not like it matters. It would be handy so that like the last episode won't be super short by accident, but well, we aren't anywhere near the end, like probably like 10% or less, I would imagine. So it's fine. Anyway, we did this. What do you think of your porridge money? My hands aren't what they used to be. I can't stop them shaking for the life of me. But I wanted to treat you to something special. Porridge isn't like super special, I guess. I used to make this porridge for your father all the time when he was sick. Gee, thanks, Grandpa. I poke my porridge with the lip of my spoon. It quivers. You don't need to worry about me. I'm not sick. Not physically, at least. I'm sick of being invincible, but that's another matter altogether. That isn't really Grand's fault either. I can't blame her for my mother's unnerving 40-year obsession with Valentina Roth. I know you're not, dear, but this porridge should do you some good. I've sprinkled it with brown sugar. It's been topped with a few homegrown strawberries. They weren't bought from any old shop. The sugar, probably not the best for your health, but the porridge and strawberries, probably alright. I know, Gran, I hope Dad picked them yesterday. Then you should be aware of just how yummy they are. Why don't you dig in? You used to love strawberries when you were a little girl. I'm not a little girl anymore, though. What? Don't be daft. You can't be that old. You're what? 13? 14? I'll be 17 next year. 16 then. That's still young compared to me. Yeah, it is. It is young, for sure. Yeah. I sigh and slump down in my chair. I don't like being reminded of how young I am. My birthday is at the tail end of July, so I turned 16 only a couple of weeks ago. I'm one of the youngest in my school year. Luck would have it. My blonde hair and short stature don't help matters either. I'm sick of being treated like the baby of my class. Maybe if I was a little taller, Helena would have listened to my warnings about proteas. Then again, maybe not. Helena's as stubborn as a mule. I can't wait until I'm 18. Then maybe people will start treating me like an adult. Yeah. Well, like 16 or 18, it's not like it's a big difference anyway. In terms of like how young you are, still pretty young. I mumble this plaintively under my breath, more for my own belief than anybody else's. I don't really expect my grandma to overhear me. Grand's hearing, like her vision, is kinda on the fritz lately. She has her own hearing aids. They look like little white kidney beans. but she's always losing them. At least like she's trying to use them. Like a lot of old people I have seen, at least like on the countryside, like they like just outright refuse to use them because pride or something. No, so just sounds like inconvenient to me. She'd lose her head if it wasn't screwed onto her shoulders. Maybe she already has. My grandma, however, must have some of her early school mistress days in her. She used to be an English teacher, because her vancellar tears are able to catch my mutinous mother. Now, dear, I wouldn't be so certain about that. About what? That you'll magically become an adult when you reach 18. Life doesn't work that way. Yep, it doesn't. The world is a mysterious place after all, and you have hardly made a mark in it yet. You still have so much left to learn. Well, like, I would rather say that just like turning 18 doesn't like really make you like an adult, like behaving like an adult makes you an adult or something like that. Like the mindset or something. Well, not that there is like one formula of adult anyway, but well, at least like if you think like turning 18 will make you an adult, you probably won't be yet. You mean about the fairies? I want to retort, the words already on the tip of my tongue. Or did I miss something? Oh yeah, the mysterious place. Oh, actually, now since we are at it, I want to make the text speed faster. Gotta bite them back down. There's no use being snippy. I don't want to be a bitch. That's what Helena called me when I told her that maybe, just maybe, going out with a man, not a boy, or even a teenager, a man, almost 10 years older than her, might quite possibly be a mistake. And there we go. Besides, no matter how old you get, you will always be my cute young granddaughter. You really were adorable when you were young, Mani. You had such lovely blonde curls, and your eyes. Are you saying I'm not adorable now? Far from it. My vision's not so good, but even I can see how pretty you have become. It's the same about all the black, but, well, who am I to say what's fashionable and what isn't? I have no idea. Pretty sure that's not like the mainstream fashion, at least. Black is the new black after all. So that is true, like, over here, like, yeah, people like to wear black for no reason. What was that, dear? Nothing. Look at my clothes contemplatively. To nobody's surprise, least of all my own, since I am, the one who dressed myself, I'm wearing black. I started dressing in black when I started secondary school. I thought it might help offset my blonde hair and my blue eyes. I wanted to look fierce. But my school has a rotten uniform, worse luck, and our dimmer white shirts and grey blazers makes me look younger than ever. Oh yeah, this school uniform thing, eh? Good thing that's not a thing here at least. The world is so totally out to get me. I never fulfill my dreams of looking like a Tetsuya Nomura character now. Not that I have enough belts to pull that look off. My hair isn't spiky enough either. I think I have got the brooding part down pat though. Now, why don't you eat up your porridge? There's a good girl. You don't need to coax me. I'm not a cat or a kid. I know, dear. Forgive an old woman for fussing. I just don't want your breakfast going cold. Well, thanks. I dip my spoon into my porridge and bring it to my lips. I blow on it a little. Despite Gran's fussing, it's still pretty hot before I put it in my mouth. Gran watches on, her face alight with earnest interest. So how is it? Do you like it? It's a bit sweeter than I'd like, but it's not bad. Don't you like sweet things, Mani? You always used to raid my biscuit tin when you were younger. Well, porridge is alright. Not the biggest fan, but I can eat it. But usually I put strawberry jam or something on top of it. Because I'm not the biggest fan, but I could eat it without that too. Like I said, I'm not a kid. I'm sick of being treated like a one too. How strange. Your father loves sweets and he's almost 50. Though my dad's never been the most mature person. He's always cracking stupid dad jokes. His favorite recurring stand-up routine is pretending he can't find our car in the car park whenever we go out, even if our car's the only car there. What a riot. I continue to eat my porridge. My gran nods and clucks approvingly. When I finish, Gran nods and says, "Good girl." Yeah, she's kinda annoying. In a way. Like I have accomplished some huge goal. I half expect her to give me a gold star. It's important to eat breakfast every day. You need to keep your strength up. What for? It's not like there's anything to do around here, unless you want me to clean out the aga. Yeah. The other staring part is... It's also kinda but the good girl thing. And stuff like that would be really annoying at least. But I'm pretty sure the staring part will get old too after a while. Probably not the best way to get to know each other if you do that, so nope. Ah. Let me disable the keyboard so that I don't do that again. Oh no, you needn't bother with the housework. That's what Mora's for. You should run off and play. I know Chapel isn't very big, but there's a lot to do. You can look around the church, or explore the old railway station, or you could take a picnic into the forest. Doesn't that sound nice? The forest sounds nice because there might be fairies. Wow, it sounds amazing. Well, like picnics are nice though. Like in the summer I did go like picnic every once in a while because it is relaxing. Or like good for like or some kind of jobs like you can do when going on a picnic too, like proofreading or maybe drawing too, like that kind of things at least. Like it is nice to set a picnic like next to a stream or something, listen to that while reading or working or something. Doesn't it just? I loved exploring the forest with Frank. He was an avid bird watcher, and he taught me how to cry just like a blue tit. That's better than being a tit, I guess. This time, Grant doesn't hear my mutinous remark, thank goodness. Do you know much about birds, dear? Yes, you're like, I love tits. They are great. I can't say I do. But there's always time to learn. Chapel Forest is rather popular among people with a keen eye for avians. There's woodpeckers in the spring and cuckoos in the summer. There's a lot of interesting sights if you keep your eyes peeled. Maybe you could take one of Frank's old guides with you. It will teach you how to identify all sorts of birds. Maybe another time, Gran. Are you sure? I'd rather you put this thing to good use instead of them getting dusty in his old office. But if you're not interested, I won't push it. I'll get that picnic lunch prepared for you, shall I? I need to use up those strawberries. I have some of Murray's lovely bread too. She makes it herself, you know. And cheese and maybe some chocolate biscuits. So Gran, whatever you want. If preparing lunch for me will make her happy, I don't mind. I can't pretend I'm all that stoked about wandering around Chapel, but at least it will be better than staying inside my grandma's too large house, slowly suffering. Everything that happens in Chapel is slow. The nearest motorway is miles away, and the nearest city is even further out. To get to Tesco, it takes a good 20 minutes. But 20 minutes isn't like that bad. Like it took like an hour to get to the nearest city from where my parents live. What a sad, secluded village this is. It's little wonder my poor grandma started to lose it. Yeah, I guess that can be a thing too. Like, depends on how the traffic works. I don't have a car, but it takes like 20 minutes to walk. So I guess there's that. But 20 minutes isn't like that bad. The forest's about the only interesting thing here, other than the overgrown, disused train station, but you better be careful in the forest though, money. Okay, there we go. Now we are starting to get the interesting stuff. Here it comes. All kinds of creatures lurk among the trees, and I'm not just talking about the woodpeckers. I've heard things in that forest, money, things no human should be privy to. Are you sure it wasn't an animal? I'm quite certain. I've lived in the countryside all my life, and no animal can sing like that, nor speak. The creatures that live in the forest are more intelligent than you or I know, and they are not listed in any of Frank's books. Nobody else in Venchapel knows about them, but I do. I have heard them. They are as real as the chairs we are sitting on. How do you know that if you have never seen them? I don't need to see them. I have heard them, and that's more than enough. Yeah, it's definitely shady when you hear it like this. If you wander too far into the woods, you might never come back again. The Fey folk will keep you locked away within the woods and send a changeling back in your place, assume your name and live your life. I kinda got the feeling that the main character wouldn't mind it for a week. A changeling Gran. I sigh. I have heard her warnings about the Fey folk before, but these so-called changelings are a new one. Where do you come up with all this? Have you been watching too much TV? This is nothing they show you on television. This is the truth that they don't want you to hear. Yeah, Grandma is deep into the conspiracy theories, I guess. So now we have skipped past fantasy stories and gone into conspiracy theories. Well, I have something in common with the main character, I guess. I'd asked Gran if she's perused through that side of YouTube lately, but I keep quiet. My grandma might be able to spot the blue teeth from a house Martin, but she can't even turn a computer on, let alone use YouTube. She should be safe from all the maniacs online who posit flat earth theories as a real, valid science, but sadly, the weird politicians at least tend to get screen time and stuff, so might be just television or newspapers or something. Just be careful, dear. You don't need to believe what I'm saying. Lord knows, nobody else does. But I wonder why. I wouldn't have believed it myself until last year, before Frank's death. Fran sighs. Moira says I'm imagining things, and your father says I'm still in shock after Frank's death, but I trust my own judgment, and it's telling me there are strange things afoot in this village. You can scoff at me all you like, dear. You can dismiss my words as the ramblings of an old, lonely woman, and it wouldn't bother me so long as you heed my warnings. I just want to keep you safe. Well, that's like good at least. Like, usually the conspiracy theory people don't really want that. Like they more rather want to hurt you, it feels like. Now do you promise you'll be careful? Grant's eyes bore into mine. Her expression is intent and impossibly focused, like the sharpened blade of a knife. Yeah, that conspiracy has been around for a really long time. But I guess like originally it wasn't like conspiracy so much as people like believing in weird things. But now it's like definitely conspiracy level. Like originally as in like hundreds of years ago. Yeah. Yeah, it is like really wild these days. Yep. I can't look away from her. I don't want to let her down. I don't believe in fairies, but... Alright, I'll come back safe, I promise. Gran might believe in fairies, but I don't. I mean, who would? There's no logical proof. It's ridiculous. Mrs. Partridge always gets on my case about my poor aptitude for maths, but I'm not completely stupid. Even I know fairies are a load of bunk. It might be kind of nice if my grandma was right, though, and fairies really did exist. Then I might have something in Venchapel to keep me occupied. Venchapel is a painfully small, boring village. Everybody knows everybody else, and there's only one primary school and small public library and a purely stocked corner shop. I don't really like living in a Grimsby, but coming to Venchapel reminds me of how much worse things could be. Grimsby isn't all that nice. It's about as grim as its name suggests, but it's bigger than Venchapel. At least there's a shopping center. I wouldn't know what I'd do with myself if I didn't have easy access to a Lush or a HMV. Grimsby is one of the closest towns to Venchapel, but even that's about half an hour away down the A1031. If you're wondering how I know that, I have most of the roads in Lincolnshire memorized. I'm my dad's trusty navigator, and I always read off roads for him on the map. He trusts me more than his sat-nav, ever since that tried to drive him through a river once on the way to a family get-together. Yeah, that happens every once in a while. Like, you get news like Google Maps is doing this or that weird. Anyway, Grimsby might be grim. It doesn't help that everything is dirty and smells faintly of fish, but Venchapel is almost utterly nondescript. There's absolutely nothing to do, and if you wanna go back to the civilized world when you get here, forget it. There aren't any trains, and there are only a couple of buses that run at irregular times over the pitted countryside roads. If you can't drive, you're stuck here for good. Until my parents come to pick me up next week, I'm basically trapped here. Venchapel is so closed off, with the fields and vegetation and trees everywhere, I've always thought it would make a great setting for a horror movie, or maybe a detective drama. Grant's house in particular would be perfect. It's practically laid out like a Cluedo board. It's big, like I said, so there'd be plenty of places for a prospective killer to hide, and it even has a billiards room. Grant's house was originally Finchapel's village hall, back in the 1800s, or whatever. I don't know precisely how old it is, and parts of it have been rebuilt after it got damaged in a fire around the turn of the century. The last century, I mean. But I think it's a good 200 years old at least. One of the fancy glazed windows in the kitchen even has an inscription scrawled in it by one of the previous owners. This fancy cursive font picked out in the glass reads Elizabeth Bradshaw, 1891. You know a house has history when its graffiti predates both world wars. I guess Grant's house is kinda cool in that respect. If only its own old walls could speak and share its secrets with me. I wouldn't mind having a chat with Elizabeth Bradshaw, especially if she is around my age. My aimless mentoring around Finchapel has uncovered a depressing lack of young people. I have seen several old men with dogs, and all undistinguishable from one another. Maybe I saw the same man on my walk 4 times, Scooby-Doo-like. But that's about it. I swear, the median age of Finchapel's inhabitants must be 65 at the very least. Well, it might be possible. If Elizabeth's restless spirit is wandering around the ether, would it kill her to stop and exchange a few words with this lonely girl? It can't do her that much harm. I mean, she's already dead. Alas, dead people aren't known for getting back up again. This isn't a horror story, but thank goodness for that. It's not a fairy story either, though it could be. Finchapel is so boring, it doesn't have any stories, period. Who would wanna set a novel in a place like this? Well, like my girlfriend and some other people have been watching like Twin Peaks or something lately, so I guess there is appeal for little places. I didn't really get it when I watched like one episode or something. I feel like I have aged 10 years. What if I'm a wrinkly old lady when my parents finally pick me up? Is Valentine Rat really worth it? Jeez, and now I'm talking to myself. I'm going to end up just as crazy as Granny if I'm not careful. I place one foot after the other, my arms are stretched, as I attempt to keep my balance on the railway track. Finchapel doesn't have a working train station, but it used to. The train connected Cloud and Grimsby, and it ran right through Finchapel. Yeah, railway is based on the games I have played before, like prime time for various spottings, I guess. I guess the line didn't see much traffic because it was closed shortly after it opened. The station's long since fallen into disrepair, and the rusted old train tracks are overgrown with moss. Walking along these tracks is kind of fun in a way. The trees about me get thicker with every footstep, and it feels like I'm walking into the unknown. But that's just an illusion. I know exactly where this disused line goes. First it passes by the old station house. Then the track gets subsumed by the forest. The old station house, like the track itself, is half consumed by the woods, its entire right side partially covered by tall, green trees. The windows of the station house are all boarded up, but the boards themselves are rotten from rainfall. And some of them lie on the grass, broken and splintered. Ivy clings to the side of the building, and its roof is peppered with holes. It's a pretty spooky sight. If I was superstitious like Aunt Leda, I'd say this site radiates mystic energy or something. But Aunt Leda's kind of loopy, and I don't believe in any of that nonsense. I might be a god, yeah, but I like burning incense in my black bedroom until my sheets smell like Sherwood Forest. But Aunt Leda can miss me with her so-called spiritual enlightenment. There's no such thing as ley lines, tarot cards are totally bogus, and as for reading palms, please. The station is interesting, sure, but I doubt it's harboring any particular secrets. It's just a rundown railway track that got shut down decades before I was born. These tracks don't lead anywhere. It's to be expected, really. Inevitable escape isn't an option. Don't forget, you're here forever. That would make a nice slogan for this miserable village. I wonder if it would bring in any tourists. Yeah, well, probably not. I'm not paying attention as I walk, and I place my foot down on the rail at an awkward angle. All of a sudden, a sharp burst of pain flares through my ankle. Damn it. My body lists to one side, and I almost take a tumble. Fortunately, I'm able to regain my footing in the nick of time. My feet aren't on the railway track anymore, though. Now they are back on terra firma. I sigh, brushing a few strands of hair behind my ears. The rail was supposed to be my safety line. The forest floor, boiling lava, or salty water filled with sharks. You take a pick. Per the rules of my game, I'm long dead. Yeah, I don't get tarot either. Not even sure like how it's supposed to work. But the cards can be cool, like that much I do admit, but I don't really know beyond that. Yes, I'm Elizabeth now. I didn't know being dead would hurt so much. My ankle is killing me. Stupid train track. I kick the tracks with my good foot, and then wish I hadn't. Ouch, son of a... My right ankle's smarting after twisting it like that, and now my left foot's starting to ache too. I hope I haven't broken anything. I wiggle my toes inside my boots. They seem to be working as intended, though I feel unpleasantly numb. So don't well, hurt yourself for nothing. I limp away from the train track, hoping to put my shame behind me. The trees of Venchapel Forest close about me, securing me inside a leafy green cocoon. I can hear a few birds twittering. I wonder if my grandpa would be able to identify these cries if he were here with me. But my grandpa isn't here. He is dead, and so is poor Elizabeth, who I never had a chance to know. My ankle's killing me. It feels uncomfortably swollen, and I curse with every step. Maybe I need to rub a dog leaf on it. Or is that for needle stings? I'm not sure. I'm not very familiar with plants and trees. When I get older, I like to go move to a city, not a grimy, pokey town like Grimsby that smells of fish, but a real city with towering buildings and huge shopping malls. London would be ideal, but I wouldn't mind Manchester either. I'll take anywhere, so long as it's as far away from Venchapel as it's possible to be. Yeah, like Australia or something, then I guess would be pretty far. To some city there. It's true cities have higher crime rates, but maybe the ever-present omniscient threat of being stabbed would add some much needed excitement to my life. Oh, who am I kidding? I can't even handle a twisted ankle without whining. I guess I'd better sit down for a bit. Wipe a bit of sweat from my brow, then sit down the wicker picnic hamper Frank gave me. Yeah, well, let's hope she is not getting like stabbed or anything. Like Knight is supposed to have a sword, but hopefully she doesn't use it on her. Would be like quite a different kind of game then. I'm not really hungry. It's only been a couple of hours since breakfast, and my porridge is sitting inside my stomach like a lead weight. But at least eating will give me something to do. While I'm at it, I can nurse my throbbing ankle. It's called multitasking, and I'm very adept at it. Go me. I spread Grant's tartan picnic blanket on the first floor. I'm not sure how old the blanket is, but it's kinda ratty, and it looks a bit threadbare. I wonder if Grant used to take my dad on my myriad of aunts and uncles and picnics with this ragged blanket when they were kids. This old thing might have seen 3 generations of Lennox family buttocks. Does that make this blanket a treasured heirloom? How much would it fetch on the Antiques Roadshow? Probably not a lot. I bet Elizabeth's autograph is worth more, but a girl can always imagine. I deposit myself down on the blanket with a dull thud. The hem of my tartan skirt is perilously short already, and it rocks up about my waist, but I pull it back down. Not that it matters. I'm smart enough to wear leggings, and it isn't like there's anybody in the forest who can sneak a peek at my thighs. Luscious though they are. Just kidding. Like the rest of me, they are kinda spindly. Who's going to care what I look like? The birds. And so the fairies of my grandma's imagination would be tut-tutting at my tiny scrap of a skirt. What a shameless hoyden. But I'm pretty good at ignoring the negative whispers. It's even easier when those whispers aren't really real. I dig into the picnic hamper, ready for an early lunch. The food's pretty typical, I guess. It's about what I expected from my grandma. There are cheese sandwiches, a piece of pork pie, a packet of salt and vinegar crisps, my favorite, and a top of a box full of fresh strawberries. There's even a sealed pot of cream to pour over them and sugar. Grant's really pulled out all the stops. I kind of feel like a member of the famous farm. Now all I need are some kippers and condensed milk. I remove my lunch from the hamper piece by piece. Now I feel more akin to Mary Poppins, extracting item after item from her enchanted traveling bag. There are a few more items at the very bottom of the hamper, knocking about in the dark. Now let's see what we have here. There are 2 apples, and at the bottom of the hamper, a bottle of Evian water and a small wooden box. I lift the box from the picnic hamper and turn it over in my hands. The box is rather small and it feels cool to the touch. It's made of smooth wood, though what kind I couldn't tell you, and sealed with a silvery clasp that shimmers in the sunlight. The surface of the box is decorated with a few carved flowers. It's a simple, understated design, and though it's not quite my style, it is kind of pretty. It looks like something you'd find in a fairy tale. Like the box, the evil stepmother wanted to keep Snow White's heart in. My frown deepens. It doesn't look like something you'd put Scotch eggs in. If I had to hazard a guess, I'd say it's a jewelry box. It looks old. The corners are scuffed, and some of the carvings are chipped. I wonder how long Grant's had it. I give the box a rattle. Something inside it clinks. The sound barely audible, about the chirping birds and whispering trees. There could be a ring inside the box, or a brooch, or maybe a pair of earrings. I don't think they'll really seriously be a human heart, but why would Gran give me this? If she wanted to get me a gift, she could have waited for a more appropriate time. Or maybe she's also tsundere. Like when she gets back and asks were this for me, she can be like, It's not like I meant to give them to you, but well, you can't have it because, well, whatever. Stuffing it with my lunch seems kinda weird, but I guess Gran has been pretty weird lately. Maybe this is par for the course for her. Still, this box looks kinda expensive. I wonder if she put it in here by mistake. Part of me wants to slide the box back into the picnic hamper like a nesting Russian doll. Out of sight, out of mind. Another more inquisitive part of me, however, wants to see just what's inside here. Maybe there'll be a real fairy trapped in this box. Just kidding. I don't know. For whose sake, I pen that remark. Maybe it's for my own dwindling sanity, or perhaps the leaves of the trees murmur amongst themselves. If I didn't know any better, I think they were actually speaking to me. A shiver runs down my spine. I try to suppress it. Stop being stupid. It's only a silly box. Just open it. And so I do. I twist the silver clasp, which clicks open with unexpected ease. Then I push open the wooden lid. I'm not sure what I'll find inside exactly, but oh, I see. In the end, it's more or less what I expected. It's a piece of jewelry, though it's nothing as fancy as boots or a pair of earrings. Instead, it's a necklace. Contrary to the decorative box, the necklace itself is disappointingly plain. Yeah, but I guess it fits the goth aesthetic, kinda, so why not? It's not made of gold or silver, and I can't see any precious stones or even semi-precious stones. My inner magpie is disappointed. The necklace is comprised of a braided leather cord which is muddy dun brown. A circular stone hangs from the cord, the hole carved in the middle. It kind of looks like a grey donut. I guess it's kind of pretty, but why did Gran give this to me? I searched about in the corners of the picnic hamper, hoping for some kind of explanation. Luckily, it isn't long before I unearthed the final piece of the puzzle. A letter. I draw the letter from the box. My name is written on the envelope in my grandma's hand. I open the envelope and slide out the letter, my eyes darting over Gran's spidery cursive. Her letters are tremulous and hard to pick out, but I think I understand the general gist. So this necklace is some kind of family heirloom. No wonder its box looks so beaten up. It's meant to protect its wearer from evil spirits, huh? This necklace isn't my style, but there is something kind of cool about it. It looks like something a druid might wear. I don't believe for a second it has any mystical powers, but I'm sure Gran means well. I'm touched that she cares about me so much. So like if she puts this on, can she like see the fairies? Well, since she's given it to me, I might as well keep hold of it. I put the necklace in my pocket. Though it's only a small, light thing, it somehow feels oddly oppressive. Is it just my imagination, or do the rustling trees about me sound even louder than before. It's getting kind of exciting, so I want to play, but I need to stop at least before 3 hours. But I still kind of want to play a little, but let me drink. Or maybe there will be a good cliffhanger spot to stop soon enough. Let's see. After lunch, I resume my aimless wandering through the woods. There isn't much to do in Finchapel, as I believe I have established already, other than wander. My twisted ankle still smarts, but it doesn't sting so very badly that I can't put one foot after the other. I ignore the pain. Being alive is suffering after all. Soldier on despite it. It's nothing. Other people have dealt with far worse. The deeper I venture in the forest, the thicker the trees around me become. Gnarled branches twist above my head like claws. The ground is uneven and strewn with loose leaves. A twig snaps beneath my foot, and the sound echoes throughout the forest. I have never been this far in the Finchapel's forest before. Unlike the village, the forest that borders it seems almost dizzyingly large. I don't know how long I have been walking, but it feels like a small century. When does this forest end? Maybe it doesn't. There must be roads beyond these trees, even crappy country roads, riddled with holes, but I can't hear any cars. I can't hear the birds either. The forest is almost eerily quiet, save for the sound of my own footsteps. Maybe I should go back. It's not like I believe in fairies, of course I don't. But this forest is more expansive than I first thought, and I don't want to get lost. Before today, I would have scoffed at the mere idea of getting lost in Finchapel. But now I have ventured this far, I can see I might have been a bit too hasty. I turn ready to retreat, but that's weird. I don't remember passing that tree stump, and I certainly don't remember that blanket of pale blue flowers. When I strain my ears, I can hear, above the all-encompassing silence, the faint sound of running water. But there isn't a lake nearby, is there? I didn't see one during my walk. What's going on? I turn about on the spot, trying to get my bearings. It feels like I'm playing a game of blind man's bluff. I'm not blindfolded, but I might as well be. I set out in one direction, then look about on myself and change my course. No matter which point of the compass I turn to, however, I'm faced with yet more sights I don't remember. Did I really come this way? Where am I? I cast a wary eye at the strange flowers. Bluebells, I think they are. That must have sprouted behind me when my back was turned. The flowers sway in the breeze. The same breeze catches at the hem of my skirt, so the black tulle beneath dances. It's supposed to be the middle of summer, but for some reason it feels incredibly cold. Hey you guys. I look at the curious flowers with narrowed eyes, hands on my hips, a classic "can I speak to you, your manager" pose. Do you know where I am? It's a long shot, flowers can't talk. Any sensible human knows that. But there's something screwy and decidedly unsensible about this whole situation. I half expect the flowers to reply to me in perfect English, with perhaps a touch of upper-class accent. I mean, they could talk perfectly well in Alice in Wonderland, but of course the flowers don't say anything. Well, what was I expecting? Maybe it's not the world that's gone mad, but me. That's what I like to believe, but don't be so hasty. Everything has a story to tell. Perhaps these flowers just don't feel like talking. I whip my head around. Though it was faint and indistinct, nothing more than a whisper, I'm sure I heard something. What is it? Who's there? No. Is that any way to ask a question? Oh, it was a question. The voice, it really is a voice, calls out to me from behind the trees. Or perhaps the voice is lurking inside the trees, and beneath the earth, and upon the air. The voice seems to come from all directions at once. It wraps me up in its soft, silken bubbles like a smoky shroud. It's hard to define the voice, but if I had to bet my life on it, I'd say it probably belongs to a woman. Maybe it's a mature woman. Mature, I guess. But would an adult skulk around in the trees, trying to terrify an innocent and unsuspecting goth? It seems unlikely. The whole situation is so unlikely, I can feel my temper boiling over. Who are you to police my tone? I don't give a damn. What do you think? Is that so? How unfortunate. It seems the young girls of today have quite forgotten their pleases and thank yous. If you were alive during my era, you'd be slapped for your insolence or worse. I'm not that little, I'm 16, damn it. Now tell me who you are this instant. And while you're at it, you'd better tell me where you're hiding. I'm not hiding. I would never be that crude. You're just not looking hard enough. What the hell is that supposed to mean? I turn about, but no matter how I crane my neck, I can't see anybody. It's almost like the mysterious speaker lacks a physical body. But that's not possible. What's going on? Are you somebody from the village? Are you trying to play a prank on the city girl? Haha, let's freak her out so she can't sleep at night. If that's your game, I gotta say, it isn't very mature. So you don't trust me? How sad. If you had been more cautious, dear, perhaps I would deign to lend you a hand, but alas, you have already had your chance. I do feel sorry for you, but given you are the way you are, I doubt anybody would miss you too much. What are you talking about? Only that I have no desire to aid an ungrateful urchin like yourself. Now please feel to wander about this forest to your heart's content, until you become another lonely soul, like the others trapped here. Trapped? What are you talking about? Why don't you tell me what's going on? I cry out to the voice, but this time I receive no reply. Whoever or whatever it was that was speaking to me, be it man or beast or mineral, has gone. Damn it. I feel like kicking the heads of all these bluebells in revenge, but I resist the urge. That's not going to help anything. But what is? I don't know how deep I am in this rotten forest, but it might take hours to escape. How am I gonna get out of here? Why won't that creepy disembodied voice give me any real advice? Or because you were mean, I guess. Some hope you were. You could at least have said your name. Don't I deserve that much? But my goading, as I imagined, is met with silence. Damn it, this has gotta be some kind of joke. What am I gonna do now? I breathe in, trying to quell my fiery temper. I can feel my heart knocking against my ribs, far louder than it has any right to be. Though I don't want to admit it, I might quite possibly be a little scared. Wait, what am I doing? I can't just pull up Google Maps. I take my phone out of my pocket and turn it on. It starts up just fine, but it refuses to connect to the internet, though I'm sure I have data left. What's going on? I fiddle around with my phone a while, to little avail. I can't get Google Maps to work. Damn it. I stuff my phone back into my pocket and scroll, arms folded. Alright, Marnie, think. There's no such thing as fairies or ghosts or goblins. You need to calm down. It's fine. You'll be fine. My fingers find the stone pendant in my pocket. I grip it tightly like a talisman. The necklace is only a cheap trinket. It looks like something you could buy at a car boot sale. But its cool touch is comforting. My heartbeat begins to stabilize. Finally, I can breathe. Somebody's playing a prank on me. That's all this is. It's just a practical joke. I'll find a way out of this miserable forest. And then I'll find out who the joker was. I won't let that get off easy. I raise my head, then once again begin my pursuit. I'll find the way out of this forest even if it kills me, and then I'll tear out their hair. That's the least they deserve. Nobody who pisses me off gets away with it. I might be smart, but I'm pretty handy with my fists, and I won't go down without a fight. And the main character has taken like a little bit of a turn to the aggressive side. Well, let's drink a little bit. Nah. What am I really seeing this? I glance about at my surroundings, my lips pursed. So my ears weren't playing tricks on me. There really is a secret lake buried deep within the depths of the forest. But that doesn't make sense. How can there be a lake here? Nobody's ever mentioned it before. I wonder why. I went to my grandparents' house a lot when I was younger. Me and my cousins would play on the disused train tracks and hide behind felled trees in the woods. I was the youngest of my cousins, but I was the bossiest and loudest, so everybody listened to me. Ruby and Pearl, Aunt Allison's twin daughters, would cover silently and ask if it was really a good idea to wander so far into the woods, but I'd remain resolute. Where's your sense of adventure? We won't find any good hiding places if we don't go in a little deeper. Gran warned me not to go too deep into the woods, but she never said anything about the lake. Surely she would have said something like, "Don't go too deep into the forest, girls. I wouldn't want you to slip and fall into the water." Playing by the lake can be very, very dangerous. You know, it's deeper than it looks. A lake, regardless of its width and depth, is far more of a tangible threat than fairies are. You might hear stories on the news about unfortunate kids who have had little mishaps while going swimming, but I have never once heard about a kid being spirited away by a being from another world. Gran should have warned us, but she didn't say a thing. She never mentioned this place, neither did my grandfather or my aunts and uncles. They never told me there was a lake. Didn't they know? Surely they must have come across this place if it really does exist. I look down at my reflection. I half expect to find a stranger looking up at me. But no, I'm still Marnie Lennox, from head to foot. My blonde hair flutters in the wind. My fingers tremble at my sides. My grandma's necklace hums inside my pocket as though it has its own heartbeat. I kneel by the lake. The strange vibrations emitting from my grandma's necklace are more violent than before. Could it really be enchanted? Yeah, right. You have been in the woods too long. It's only a stupid necklace. This is only a stupid lake. It's all stupid. I'm being stupid. I'm sure this lake shouldn't be here, but it undeniably is. It looks just as real as I am. When I dip my fingers into the water, disturbing the smooth surface, it feels real too. I draw my fingers back. They are wet, and they glisten in the sunlight. Are my senses playing tricks on me? This feels real, but it could all be a very convincing dream. If possible, I'd like to tear back the veil of mystery surrounding this clearing. But my damp fingers grasp uselessly in the empty air. I feel trapped, and I don't know how to get back. Is it even possible to get back? Maybe I have wandered too far into the woods. My fingers still damp from the lake, twisting my loose hair. I tug at it hard enough to hurt, but the lake before me refuses to disappear. What's happening here? Won't somebody give me a sign? I wish somebody would tell me what to do. Then at that moment, young maiden, oh, could it be? Ah, my skin prickles. The blood inside my veins freezes over. This isn't my imagination, it can't be. I swear I just heard a voice. Hearing voices should be a commonplace event by now, given what happened not 1 hour earlier. But this voice is different to the light, lilting tone of my previous tormentor. This voice is much more real, somehow. The tone is low and deep. It rumbles in the air like thunder. It's obviously a man's voice, even more real and solid than a cannonball to the gut. I try to swallow, but my throat feels dry, and I almost choke on my own tongue. Yeah, that's a guy. But this might be like cliffhangery enough. Well, I can't stream much longer anyway because I'm kind of getting tired because I woke up still pretty early. And well, probably shouldn't make the stream super long anyway. Like doing those 6-hour streams again. Or maybe when Silk Song is out, but not now. Yeah, we found a night, but not the kind of night I really wanted. Maybe we'll find a better night next time. It is pretty fun. Like the feeling of mystery is definitely there. It's pretty exciting. But we'll probably continue next week. I don't think I'll stream tomorrow. Most likely won't. But next week. Oh. Yeah, it was a lot of fun. Feels pretty like kinda similar to Heart of the Woods. Like there is the same kind of mystery feeling. It would be really fun to play more, but nah, let's not do that. So yeah, thank you for watching. It was a pleasure. Sorry about not streaming last week. But next week, yeah, more of this for sure. A lot of fun. So see you next week. Bye bye.